to What Now? What now? I'll tell you what now. Today, we're going to talk about persistence of vision. Woohoo! Doesn't that sound fun? Actually, it really is. It's a really cool thing. If you guys like watching cartoons or animation or movies in general, then you are relying on your persistence of vision. Persistence of vision is this thing that our eyes and our brain do. When we look at images in short little spurts, we want to connect them and we turn them into moving pictures. And so what we're going to do to sort of show how that is we're going to make a thing called a flip book. And what I've done here is I've taken this tiny little notebook and I've drawn some pictures inside, one on each page, and I have made this thing so when you flip it together, it looks like a moving picture. So what's happening when you look at an object? Well, what happens is, let's just take this little plastic taper, for example. The light is coming in and it's bouncing off this taper, this little plastic taper, and that is bouncing off into our eyes. And then the back of our eyes have these cells that are being stimulated by the light that's hitting them. Those stimulate, they send a message to our brain, and they tell us what we're seeing. It's pretty cool, really, our brains and our eyes working together like that. So what happens when you watch a cartoon or a movie or an iPhone YouTube video? Basically, that's a bunch of pictures that are taken in sequence and they're shown together. So our eyes and our brain put it together and make it seem like it's actually moving. Pretty cool. It's really kind of cool and trippy. Trippier still is that human beings have this thing called persistence of vision. Do you know what persistent means? I can tell you what persistent means. I'm an expert at it. When I was in the summer before my 4th grade, I went to Camp Ketcha, whoa-hee-lo, and I was voted most persistent camper. So anyway, persistent means it just keeps going, right? So persistence of vision means that even though I'm looking at one image and then another image and then another image, it's persisting in my eyes and in my brain, and it's making that picture seem as if it's just one singular moving picture. It's really cool, and it's how come we can look at cartoons. It's how we can look at any animation, really. It's how we can look at movies. It's how we can look at flip books, and it's how we actually see moving pictures. You can really see this in action when you make a flip book, so that's what we're going to do. What I've done is I've taken a little notebook. You can have a pad of Post-it notes. You can even get like a stack of index cards, and you can hook them together. You can tape them together or staple them. You basically want to be able to do that. Flick it, right? Flick the cards, because that's where you're going to start to see the motion. And what I do is I start on the lowest, on the back end, and I start my drawing. It can be something as simple as a line. Start with a dot, and then the next one, lengthen the dot to a little bit of a line, and then the next one, lengthen it to a little bit more of a line, more of a line. You get the picture, right? And when you flip these together, it's going to look like the line is growing. And that's really cool. So it's really kind of fun to try and do that. You can start it with something that grows, right? A spot that maybe grows into a line. Maybe you've got a seed that grows into a flower. You could do a ball that bounces off a corner. It's really kind of cool, because what you have done after you've done this is you've actually created an animation. Because it's a series of drawings that just changes slightly with each still, and then when you run them all together, it looks like a singular moving image. And that's because of our persistence of vision. I'd love to see what you come up with, and I'd love to see how your persistence of vision is working. See you next time on What Now?